Hello everyone, my name is Romy Singh and welcome to my channel. And in this video, I am going to share my proven systems that I've been using for last 4 years to create sales funnels which have generated 7 or 8 figures profit for my clients. By using this process, you can create sales funnel designs which will be conversion oriented and will make your clients go wow. So let's get started. So before we start with the actual process, let's focus on the certain advantages that you get by following this process, which I'm going to show you in just few minutes. What if you could create a sales funnel that would make your client go wow? Stack the whole project odds in your favor. Understand and comprehend exactly what your clients want. Reduce the friction between you and the client. Create a sales funnel that would convert like crazy for your clients. And in the end, get an amazing testimonial for your work. And the biggest advantage of following the system or the process exactly the way I show you, you will look like a pro while doing all of this. Follow this process exactly the way I show it to you to get the best possible result out of this process. Whenever you take up any sales funnel project or any designing project, you have a client brief. And whenever you start with the client brief, you should be taking notes. As you can see that I have this notebook. I started using this notebook in January, around 10th January. I have already used the 50% of this book by just taking the notes on the clients' meetings and everything. Like it's all filled with the clients. Whenever I have a meeting with the clients, I take notes of whatever the client talks about, of whatever points that is related to the project. I take notes of it. So I'm assuming that you are doing the same thing. You're not just listening to the client, you're taking notes actually when the client is giving you the brief. This is very crucial for you for this process to work. So I'm assuming you're taking notes on the client's brief. Once you have this notes, because this is the key element here, the step number is breaking down the client brief completely to understand the goal of the project. I will explain more this later into the later slides, but for now, let's just understand the 7 steps that is involved in this system. So I'll just gonna give you a brief overview of the 7 steps that is involved in this system. The first step in this system is breaking down the client's brief. Second is understanding the complete flow of the funnel or the website project that you're about to take on. Third is starting the hunt for the design inspiration. Fourth is going through the sales copy or the content copy that the client will provide you. Fifth is starting the designing phase of the sales funnel or the website. Sixth is building the sales funnel or the website on the decided platform. Most of the time, if you are developing a sales funnel, it would be ClickFunnels, Kajabi, or if you are working on a website, most of the time it's going to be WordPress. Seventh step and the last step in this system is scheduling a project handover meeting. This is going to be the last meeting that you will have with your client to go through pretty much everything. So let's dive into each step of this process. Step number 1, as I told you, breaking down the client brief. By breaking down the client brief, you can understand the key concerns of the client. And this is very important. Why? Because it will help you understand the problem statements of the clients. Step number 2 is understanding the complete flow of the funnel or flow of this website. In this step, design a basic flow diagram to understand each and every pages that you need to design or you need to develop in this sales funnel, as well as every user interaction points. Example like order form, upsales, downsales, or other kind of pages that you need to develop. Assign a rough timeline to each pages that you will be creating to get an approximate idea about how much time you will need to complete this project. Schedule a meeting with the client to discuss this flow diagram. You need to explain this flow to the client. Okay, did you understand everything correctly, or is there any modification or any feedback that the client wants to give? This flow needs to have inclusion of the emails that gonna be sent, or the purchase emails, or anything interaction that user has with the web funnel needs to be mentioned in this flow diagram. Then you explain everything to the client, and then the client will tell you, okay, this funnel is perfectly, this is how I want my funnel to work. Now, by doing this, you have a very clear idea what you will be building and what you will be creating here. In the step number 3, we start hunting for the design inspiration. You can't create an amazing design without having an impression, without having an inspiration, or that light bulb moments. To get that light bulb moments, you need more information, more inspiration. And the best way to get that is by going on an inspiration hunt. Go through the reference website that the client has shared with you, break it down, like literally rip it apart to understand why the client likes this website. What are the aspects of this website the client likes? Find more similar funnels to the reference website to get more idea about the layout, the sections, and the graphics. You can browse, search similar products or similar service-based funnels to get more idea about this. Take screenshot of this, any layouts or any structure that you like here, that you think, okay, this will make the funnel look good. Just take a screenshot, make a huge collection of not that huge actually, make a collection of this screenshot around 10, 20, 30, depending on, till you get that light bulb moment. Just save every screenshot here. In step number 4, we'll go through the sales copy of the funnel. In this step, we'll go through the sales copy of the funnel. You need to just simply ask your client that can he or she share a draft copy with you for the sales funnel. Break down this funnel, the sales copy completely. Go through the sales copy at least twice or thrice to understand the story that is being told in the sales copy, and the sections that you need to create in the sales funnel, the layout, the variation of layouts that you can create, the graphics that you need to create. Try to understand every element that you need to create here for the sales funnel. It will help you make your sales funnel design more conversion oriented, more user friendly. If you understand the sales copy really well and you know what are the graphics that you need to create, understand what are the words, key phrases, sentences that you need to highlight, it will help you attract the eyeballs or the attention of the visitors. And if you are successfully able to attract the attention of the visitors, the visitor will go through the sales copy, and then if the person goes through the sales copy or the visitor goes through the sales copy, that user has a very high chance of getting converted into a customer. So it is a very crucial for you to go through the sales copy to understand how many layout variations you can create, how many graphics you can create, and what are the key phrases, key sentences that you need to highlight. In the step number 4, this is what you need to do. Step number 5, designing the actual sales funnel. You can use any tools here, like I like to use Figma, but you can use any tool here to design your sales funnel. It's whether it's Figma or Photoshop or Sketch, depending on your preferences. You are free to use any designing tool here. Remember, in the step number 2, you created the complete flow of the funnel. If you have created that flow, you have a very clear idea about what you need to do now, how this complete funnel will work, what are the pages that you need to create, and how much time you need to invest in the designing the complete funnel. You have a very clear idea about what you need to do, how you need to design this sales funnel based on all the pre-steps that you have just made, all the pre-steps that you have completed. Before you start actually designing on it, before you open that Figma window or that Photoshop window to design your sales funnel, I highly recommend to actually sketch few. I actually just take a pen, like I usually do it. I just take a pen and I just start sketching few wireframes or few sketches of the funnel to understand what are the sections that I need to create in this funnels, to have a general idea about the layout of this funnels. So I would suggest, before you actually sit down to design the sales funnel, just play with the pen. Your sketches doesn't need to be very pleasing. If you look at my sketches, you will literally feel like it's a doodle drawn by a 5-year-old kid. So that, just forget about that. You just need to literally create a few sketches to get a general idea about the complete layout structure that you need to create, that you need to design in Figma. This will save your time and the delete, edit, recreate, all those things in Figma. This will save you a lot of time. So before you actually start designing, sit down, pick up your notebook and start creating your sketches or simple wireframes. Now you also have an idea about the graphics that you have to create, the design assets that you need, the illustrations, the icons, that fonts, all of the things that you need. Before you start designing, actually you can just download all of this by using different websites. The website that I use my favorite is the nounproject.com as well as the icons8.com. While you're designing each section, make sure you are paying close attention how this section or this layout is going to look in the mobile. Remember, most of the traffic to your sales funnel is going to come from mobile, so your mobile version of your sales funnel is also very important. So don't go creating very complex design, because converting that complex design into a mobile version is also complicated, and they tend to not that conversion oriented. So keep it simple but more conversion focused. And this is the most important point: never go astray, never lose the track on the brand guidelines which are shared by the client. Never lose track on it. Follow brand guidelines strictly, because if you accidentally even using different color or different variation of color or font, the harmony of the complete funnel is broken. Yeah, you and we might not notice it, but there are people who do notice it, and when it kind of certain time it impacts the overall conversion. Every simple small things can affect the conversion rate. So make sure your complete design looks linear, it looks completely similar, and there's no like somewhere the font size is 18, somewhere is 16, somewhere is 22. I would suggest once you are done, you just go through pretty much everything in your design to see everything is, everything has the same value. After you are done with the initial design or the first draft of your design, I always like to schedule a meeting with the client. The goal of scheduling this meeting is to show the design to the client, to get feedbacks, to get inputs from the client, so I know that I'm on the right track. A simple tip here for freelancers: make sure that the scope of work or the contract that you have with the clients mentions the number of free revisions that you are offering to the client, so that you are not losing your time and as well as money. So make sure that your contracts or the scope of work includes the number of free revisions or how many revisions that you want to do it for free to the client. After getting the feedback from the client, I sit on the design, I update that design based on the inputs, based on the feedback, and then the design is finalized. That now you have a proper high converting premium looking sales funnel design. What is the next step? You just need to develop the design. Step number 6. In the steps, we build the sales funnel on the predetermined platform or the platform that client has finalized. I would suggest you get more clear on the platform that you want, that the client wants the sales funnel to develop on in the early stages of the project. Why? Because different platforms have different charges. Like your package or the commercial should vary depending on the platform from platform. The core concept behind each platform is similar, but they don't work in a similar fashion also. So your charges needs to be varied. So before you start actually developing the sales funnel, make sure that you are clear on which platform you're going to develop the sales funnel on. Now, once you know that you're going to develop this sales funnel on ClickFunnels or Kajabi, all you have to do is now just replicate the design. After you're done developing all the pages, you just need to make sure that all of them are working properly, all of them looks good in the mobile phone, and once they look perfectly, all your design elements, they don't they don't go haywire here and there, they all look very premium, then this is the last step of the process. You do a complete rundown of the sales funnel. You test pretty much everything. You test the order form, you test the payment gateways, you test the mailing. I would suggest just create fake orders, use fake fake debit card details to test pretty much everything. Do a complete rundown to figure out if everything is working properly or not, or if you have, in case you have missed anything or not. So do a complete rundown here. Step number 7. Once you are done doing the final test, the complete rundown, in the step number 7, you just need to schedule a meeting with the client. The goal behind scheduling this meeting would be giving a complete demo of the sales funnel that you just created now. Like making the client go through the complete sales funnel, asking for feedback, taking notes on the feedback that the client is giving on you, or any changes the client that wants to make. Take notes of pretty much everything that the client is sharing with you. Discuss all these changes with the client and the impact of these changes on the overall funnel. And another pro tip here for freelancers: charge the clients accordingly. Make sure that your scope of work is very clearly determined, what is included, what is not included, and if the things or the modification that the client is sharing with you is not included in the predetermined scope of work or the contract, charge separately. Once you're done taking notes of the clients, explain the complete functionality of the funnel, the flow diagram of the funnel to the client. After you're done explaining the project or the functionality of the funnels, it's time for the handover. explain the handover process to the client, like how you gonna how this handover process will work, what are the things that the client needs to share with you, or make sure that your payments are cleared before you actually hand over the complete sales funnel. So you need to have a handover process. Like I like to do this. I send my invoice, and when the client clears on it, I send a mail to the client, what we did on it, what we discussed. Like it's a snippet of the scope of work and the snippet of the deliverables. Okay, we discussed on this is what we have delivered on. Thank you for working with me. It was a pleasure working with you. And then I just send that mail. That's all. After the payment is clear, I hand over the project. After the handover process is complete, I wait for 2 or 3 days, and then I send a mail asking for a testimonial. I try to focus on getting a video testimonial, but even if the client is ready to give a textual testimonial, it still works better. Here I make sure that the sharing a testimonial is very easy for the client. I have created a page on my website. I share the link of that page with my client. The client just needs to click on that link, and if they have recorded the video, they can simply upload it, or they can simply write the testimonial right there and then, and they can just submit it. The moment they hit on submit button, I get the copy of the testimonial. This is how simple I have made it for them. You can find the link in the description of the testimonial page so that you can replicate it. And once you're done with getting amazing testimonial, it's time to update your portfolio. So that's how you built a high converting sales funnel with less friction with the client and more profit. So this is a complete process I follow strictly to build every sales funnel project I take on. You can replicate this sales funnel. This process tend to work really amazing for it. All the sales funnels that I have created have made a huge profit for my clients. So you can simply replicate this complete process to build high converting sales funnels for your client. If you have any questions related to sales funnel designing, funnel hacking, blogging, or freelancing, comment below this video with a hashtag AskRomy, and I'll be more happy to answer those questions. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. See you in my next video.